20 Bunker Hill Avenue. You know where that is?
Behind Bunker Hill. A couple blocks north of Central Station.
So, what do we tell the wife?
Turn right.
Play it by the book. There's no stiff yet, so let's see how it plays out.
Go left.
Could be a car theft gone wrong. Make Black drive somewhere lonely, then give him a tap.
But why leave the car?
Well, obviously someone got a little heavy-handed.
It's the wrong way around.
Well, how so, genius?
Where is Adrian? We've gone to all the trouble.
Try making it to the next intersection without killing anybody. You do that for me?
Straight through at the next junction.
Where is Adrian? We've gone to all the trouble to steal the car. It goes wrong. You leave the body behind, not the car.
That's something, Phelps. Doesn't add up.
Straight on here. Straight through at the next junction.
Did you read about the guy on the crossing yesterday?
No, what happened?
Over on Lincoln Avenue. This guy's driving along and his oil light comes on. He stops the car and gets out. He pops the hood and...
He's on a rail crossing.
Oh, you got it. He's got his head under there checking the oil, and the Southern Pacific Freight slams into his car doing 90 miles an hour. The car came to a rest more than a mile down the track.
Keep going straight. Straight ahead.
What a pointless waste of life.
You'll get plenty of blood and guts and mindless stupidity working traffic, Phelps. And who needs a Second Amendment when we'll give a goddamn fool the license to get behind the wheel of an automobile? Take the next right.
If it's a kidnapping, why leave the victim's ID? If it's a murder, why leave the car? The evidence doesn't add up.
Free lesson, Phelps. Evidence will only get you so far. You ask me, the whole thing feels hinky as hell. Go right.
What I wouldn't give to have your powers of intuition, Bukowski.
Don't worry, kid. Keep watching the master and you'll get there one day. Right turn, coming up. Straight through.
Let's go introduce ourselves. You talk to her, Phelps. I'm no good at this shoulder to cry on stuff. Where you going, Phelps? This is the place.
No use leaving the thing half finished. can't be right. So the pipe missing from Mr. Black's heater is the same one that killed him. Huh. Seems like the assailant is a little closer to home.
Who drove me up?
I think his name is Phelps. I read about it.
Just a minute.
LAPD, Mrs. Black. May we come in? We have some bad news, and we'd rather discuss this in private.
I'm Margaret Black. Oh, we can discuss this in the living room. Please come in.
We're gonna have a look around, then we'll talk.
Lie down, make yourself comfortable. So, you're a friend of Courtney's?
Yes, Doctor.
He seems very concerned about you.
I have these visions, these blinding visions. I can't get them out of my head. My skull, it feels like it's in a
I
vice.
want to give you something to calm your nerves. I want to take you on a journey back. I want you to remember the good things about your past, occasions that made you laugh, times that made you smile.
Kavanaugh's. So who brought this home? Maybe Adrian was a patron. And I should have an address. Operator, give me dispatch.
Putting you through now.
Cole Phelps, badge 1247.
How could I help, Detective?
I need an address on a Kavanaugh's bar.
Certainly, Detective. One moment. Kavanaugh's Bar, corner of Aliso and Hewitt, south side of Union Station.
Thanks. Doesn't look like anything. Not much help. This was only recently installed, not 2 days ago. Wonder if someone in the house bought this unit knowing how they would use the parts. A used ticket to Seattle and a suitcase gone missing. Someone couldn't wait to get out of this house. This must be Adrian's. Stencil, so the glasses are a match. To my Adrian. This thing gets more and more interesting. Your husband drives a blue Lincoln, Mrs. Black?
That's correct.
The car has been found abandoned, and I'm afraid there are signs of foul play.
I knew something was wrong when he didn't come home.
We believe your husband may be injured. We found a pipe on the scene with blood on it.
Oh, no! My poor Adrian!
Do you think you could answer some questions now, Mrs. Black?
Of course. However I can help.
We found a receipt in the trunk of your husband's car for a live pig. This receipt was made out to an F. Morgan.
A pig? Adrian runs a tool business. That would be Frank Morgan. God knows what he's up to.
The situation doesn't look good, Margaret. You need to tell me what you know.
There's no need to be so aggressive. I'm also a victim. Are you trying to find my husband?
I think you should come clean with us, Mrs. Black. Your husband is missing, and after our search, I'm willing to call the circumstances suspicious. Can you account for your movements last night?
You're not accusing me, are you? Oh, what an awful thing to say. I was here all night, of course, waiting for Adrian to come home.
Yes, fresh pancakes made with Mullingar flour. Mullingar makes it so easy. Just add milk and those tender, delicious pancakes are ready after a few minutes.
The evidence is stacking up, Mrs. Black. It all places you at the rail yard last night.
I've already told you I was here all night alone. Your stack of evidence doesn't change a thing.
Your husband frequents Kavanaugh's bar?
How did you know that? Adrian practically lives there after work.
So Adrian spends a lot of time there?
Up until recently, he's been away in Seattle a lot on business.
Did your husband tell you where he was going last night?
All he said was he was going to meet Frank for a drink.
So you didn't arrange to meet him out at the rail yards?
I've never been near a rail yard in my life.
Was your husband wearing his glasses when he left here yesterday?
Yes, he just bought a new pair.
Go on.
I kept telling him to throw those old ones away. He tried to repair them with tape. They looked terrible.
Tell us about the photo of Adrian in the bedroom.
What is there to tell? It's from his most recent business trip to Seattle.
You and your husband are in separate bedrooms. What gives? Did you want him out of the way, Margaret?
No, I did not. My husband and I may have drifted apart, but it wasn't my choice.
Our job is to find out what happened to your husband. Your lack of cooperation can only hinder our investigation, Mrs. Black.
You know the way.
You can drive.
Where are we going?
That's disgusting. Didn't you ever hear from her?
Jesus, I'm glad to be out of there.
Mr. and Mrs. Black don't seem to have the happiest home life.
He's too scared to divorce her, and she's too much of a shrinking violet to throw him out. If this hadn't happened, they could have stayed miserable together forever.
You think she could have killed him?
She sure as hell doesn't seem the type. But stranger things have happened.
Hey, I know you.
No, you don't.
That cherry pie was